We are just one day away from the official start of the 2026 World Cup. Here's everything you need to know about the Mexican national team for that first game against South Africa. Welcome back. We're officially on the road to 500 subscribers. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. It helps me out a lot. Mexico finished their final friendly, thrashing Serbia 5-1. Prior to that, they had a couple other friendlies, and there's a lot of key takeaways into how this team is entering this World Cup. In the two friendlies prior to the Serbia match, the final match, Mexico faced Australia and Ghana. In both matches, Mexico won. There's a couple things we need to know from those games. Starting off with the first one, El Bebote Martinez. The striker nobody really knows about if you're not a die-hard Mexico fan. This one is extremely disappointing to me. It seems like Javier Aguirre values him more over a fan favorite like Santiago Jimenez and over my personal favorite, La Hormiga Gonzalez from Chivas. Yes, Raul Jimenez is still the starter, and yes, Quiñones is probably going to be the other striker that's going to play more of a winger, but more on that later. The biggest takeaway that you got to take from these two friendlies, in my opinion, the most important one, is Brian Gutierrez is a solidified starter for this team. The Chivas striker who emerged this year was once thought of as potentially being called up by the U.S. national team and really they didn't even think about Brian Gutierrez, but the Mexican national team did, and he broke out into the scenes this year, and he scored a goal in that game against Ghana, a beautiful goal, and he was probably the best player on the pitch other than Johan Vazquez, which brings me to my next point. Yes, Johan Vazquez is Mexico's best player. Not a winger, not a striker, a center back who was born in Sonora, Mexico, is probably going to be Mexico's best player heading into the tournament. He's Mexico's best center back since Rafa Marquez, who's still going to be on the sideline, by the way. Rafa Marquez will be assisting Javier Aguirre in this tournament as the assistant coach. The final game against Serbia had the 26 players that will be featured in this tournament, the 26 players that we're going to be rooting for. And they featured a starting 11 that we're going to most likely see against South Africa. This is the unconfirmed 11 that we are pretty sure is going to start. There are only a few switches that I can see Aguirre making at that kickoff against South Africa. The least favorite of mine being Jorge Sanchez for Israel Reyes at the right back position. Lots of people are calling for Reyes to make that start because he simply just doesn't mess up. And let's be real, Jorge Sanchez can be a bit clumsy while defending. You'll probably see that in the match. But he provides something Israel Reyes doesn't. Attacking down the flank, something I think we'll need to do a lot of against South Africa. Yes, Israel Reyes should probably start against tougher opponents, and you'll probably see that against tougher opponents, like maybe in that second game against South Korea. But for the first game against South Africa, where we're going to be attacking most of the game, look for Jorge Sanchez to get the nod. Moving on to the midfield. This midfield is also in question. Mexico is extremely deep in this position compared to prior years. And with Mexico's sensation, 17-year-old Gilberto Mora, who in my opinion is the best creative option on this team. Could he come in here? I think he's probably going to come in off the bench. Expect fans to be extremely excited when he does. Gilberto Mora is a young kid we're all going to be rooting for. Play the kid. Also, Luis Chavez scored a banger against Serbia, making a statement that after his leg injury, he's still got a mean left foot. And he scored that banger you'll remember against Saudi Arabia at the last World Cup. So when Mexico gets a free kick and Chavez isn't on the field, we're all going to be like, shit, I wish Chavez was in. And is that enough for Aguirre to be like, oh, we got to start Chavez over Fidalgo or over Brian Gutierrez? I don't think so, but who knows? We could potentially see Luis Chavez on that starting 11 for against South Africa. Possibly, I would rate it at maybe a 25% chance. In the CDM position, right in front of the defense, expect Eric Lira to get that start. Yes, you're used to seeing Edson Alvarez, El Machín, the captain of this team, making the start at that position, but because of his recent injuries and him coming back from injury, and it seems like the Mexican national team is ramping things up slowly with him, but I fully expect him to be subbed in at some point in this game. It's Eric Lira's position to lose, and Edson should be back soon enough, rolling in with the captain's armband. Now, we're moving on to the forwards. In the forwards, starting off from the right wing, we have Roberto Alvarado. Nobody wants to see Roberto Alvarado. To the opposite side of Roberto Alvarado, you have Julian Quiñones. Julian Quiñones, who's the top goal scorer in the Saudi Arabian League and can make a big statement in this World Cup. I think he's got a chance to be this team's top goal scorer, other than the next man who we are going to talk about, Raúl Jiménez. Raúl Jiménez, this is going to be his 4th World Cup. In World Cups prior, he has not scored. So that's a lot of pressure on him to get his first goal for Mexico in a World Cup. He's tied with Javier Borghetti for 2nd on Mexico's all-time leading goal scorer list. Raúl is ultimately trying to catch up to Chicharito on that list, and with a goal in this tournament, he'll officially pass Javier Borghetti, so look for Raúl to celebrate big when he scores. Last but not least, on this list, you'll see one thing clearly. No Ochoa. Tala Rangel gets the start between the sticks. He's the Chivas goalkeeper who's probably going to start in this game. Although reports are saying that Ochoa could potentially get the start, I don't think that's going to happen. But if Mexico are winning this game and winning comfortably, we could potentially see Ochoa break that record, get a standing ovation, and get subbed in, and it would be an epic moment at the Azteca. If Guillermo Ochoa plays in this 2026 World Cup, he would set a remarkable record. He would join an extremely exclusive group of players with 6 World Cups, alongside Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. That was a quick summary of everything I think you need to know for this game against South Africa and the players that are going to be playing in it for the Mexican national team. So, my expectations for this game. Over 80,000 Mexican fans. The first game of the 2026 World Cup, I fully expect Mexico to put on a show. They're going to put on a show on and off the field. All the fans in the stadium, the little pre-match shows, concerts or whatever. The national anthem is going to be amazing. It's going to be a spectacle that the world is going to be watching, and just to be there is going to be so amazing. So now I want to get into my official match prediction for this game. Mexico has one of the best defenses heading into this tournament, in my opinion. So I fully expect them to keep a clean sheet and not get scored on. And I fully expect them to win 3-2-0. Yes, that's my official match prediction for this game. And heading into the World Cup, I'm going to do a little parlay that I'm going to be putting together. And these are my goal scorers. I have Raúl Jiménez anytime, Julian Quiñones anytime. I'm not going to predict that 3rd goal scorer because I have a feeling it's going to be a header off a set piece, because South Africa is so bad at defending set pieces, whether it's Johan Vázquez or maybe Edson Alvarez coming in, or even Cesar Montes scoring that header. It's probably going to be one of them 3 in my opinion. So that's my official match prediction. Mexico to win the game, and I'm going to get goals from Raúl Jiménez and Julian Quiñones. So that's my official match prediction. I hope you liked the video. Please do like and share the video, and subscribe if you haven't. We're officially on the road for 500 subscribers. Thank you for watching. So that's my